Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome back to our final episode of the fall 2024 season. I'm your host for today, Abdullah Patel. And join with me, I have a full panel, three guests, two of which, including me, two of which will be in the finals this upcoming Friday. I would like to introduce our very first guest from Yakeen is Mr. Bilal Alvi. Assalamualaikum, how are you doing?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. So you had a pretty entertaining series this last Friday. I think 16 goals scored between you guys in two games. Uh Absolutely high scoring affair. But
Yeah.
we'll get into that in a bit. My next guest I'd like to introduce another teammate of mine and in the finals this Friday, Mr. Saif Khwaja. How you doing?
Alhamdulillah, how's everyone doing?
Good, good.
Alhamdulillah, nice.
Yeah, so me and Safe had a pretty good Friday moving into the finals.
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah, last but not least, I'd like to introduce our final guest. This is he hasn't been playing in the season due to injury, but he has been a big, strong, monumental part in the later part of this episode, which will be the GM and jersey reveal. It is Mr. Saleh Hassan. Assalamualaikum, Saleh. How you doing?
Assalamu guys. How you guys doing?
Alhamdulillah.
We're good, alhamdulillah. So yeah, jazakallah guys for joining me. I know it's a Friday, Wednesday and not a Thursday. But with this, we'd like to kind of just move into our show for the evening. So yeah, before we get into that, just a big overview of the show for the viewers. This is going to be a finals preview, as well as a semifinals recap, an award show, as well as a GM and jersey reveal. Yeah, let's just get into it because we have a lot to unpack here. So for the first game of the evening, it was Rida versus Taqwa, game one, and this game ended in a 2-2 tie. So yeah, safe. You kind of played in this game, so kind of walk me through or walk us through how this kind of game went.
So, honestly, I think that us as Ridha, we were expecting a lot more from Taqwa. We thought they were going to come out a lot stronger, and I think that Taqwa thought we were going to come out a lot less stronger. So it was definitely a very big shift in the game. We heavily overestimated them. They honestly they didn't perform as well as I thought. Maybe it was because they were very chill about it. But we definitely did come out strong as well. I think that we took the first period to get our legs running like we always do. But we came back running, and I think it went well.
For sure. So yeah, we actually Taqwa started this game with a 2-0 lead. The first period was honestly all Taqwa. They kind of really took control of the game. The first goal, it was a kind of a weak goal led in by Yusuf Kapoor. Saad Sheikh was running down the right wing and he just chipped it. Yusuf thought it was gonna go past the net and ended up going in. And then Asif Bika with a power play snipe. So yeah, we kind of fought back into this with goals from Altaf, assisted by Yusuf, and our second goal, I believe, or who scored our first goal? Yeah, I don't even remember.
Was I honestly I only know it was Altaf score that one.
Yeah, I forgot who scored our first goal, but yeah, it was a pretty good comeback win. So Bilal, did you get a kind of a glimpse of this game, or kind of did you see the tail end of the game?
I saw a little bit of it. When I came in, it was I think 2-0 for Taqwa. But yeah, both these teams are strong teams. We didn't choose them for a reason for the semis. They kind of gave us our toughest competition during the regular season. But yeah, Altaf, great leader, great player. You kind of have to watch out for him at all times. And the story over the season's been coming back. You guys did it against us to get a tie, and I'm not surprised that it happened in this game too.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, moving into the second game, which was also game one. This was between Yakeen and Ihsan. Yakeen actually chose Ihsan despite Ihsan not being the lowest ranked team. And it really paid off for them. This game one, Yusuf Siddiqui, an absolute beast of a game, 3 goals and an assist. To kind of really push, to really push this Yakeen team to the next round. or to give them that advantage. Bilal, kind of talk me through this game. What was like really key for you guys in this game?
So yeah, we knew when we chose Ihsan what our game plan was going to be. We know they're a bit of an older team, so we wanted to kind of run them to the ground, make them tired, just keep applying pressure. That's kind of been how we've ran all season. Obviously, Yusuf and the other two Siddiqui brothers, Ibrahim and Dawood, they kind of spearhead that. But yeah, we just kept applying pressure. We got some good dirty goals at the net. They had the one goal off a face-off. Sani just sniped it. But yeah, for the most part, we kind of controlled most of the game. And as you see, Hamza there with 2 assists. We've had line 1, 2, and 3 all give great contributions throughout the whole season. So that's kind of been the story of our team. It's a very well drafted team by RC and Yusuf. So can't complain.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I think going into this game, a lot of us were kind of expecting a high scoring affair. And we definitely retreated to it. I think this game it felt a lot closer than what the kind of the scoreboard shows. I think there were a couple of power plays that San had, and it really looked like they could have maybe gotten the win. Sani with a great goal. But ultimately you guys kind of got the lead safe. Did you manage to catch this game?
I caught the end bit of it, and it really did feel like Ihsan was like trying their very hardest. Like I didn't see one guy on their team, stop running. Everyone's gears were still in motion. So I really had high expectations for the second game. I thought Ihsan was gonna, come back for the second one, which the second one, I know we'll touch upon it later, but it was head to head. No, there's a lot of goals back and forth. So I think Ihsan really needed that momentum, and from the first game at least.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll move into the second game of the Rida Takwa series. This one ended in a 3-2 Rida win, propelling them to the finals. The game started a lot differently this time. We actually took a 2-0 lead early on. Goals from me, and then another goal from Bully. And then Takwa still battled back. Asif Bika with another goal. Or he actually had 2 goals. His third of the night, he had one against us as well. And then the winner of kind of coming from Omar Khan from Rida. But this one was a really I was really kind of surprised that we were able to kind of keep a lead and stay in that lead for most of the game. But yeah, Safe, kind of walk us through how this one went.
I think in the back of everyone's minds, like at least back of my mind, I really wanted to make sure that we shut down, Rayon, and then as well as Mohit, right? Those are the 2 top scorers, definitely on the league, like over top 10, I think, in the league, and then definitely on their team as well. So as long as we were shutting them down, making sure that there was one man on them at all times, I think we were doing well. We probably should have applied the same thing for Asif. He got 3 goals that night, but I think that making sure that at least 2 of their 3 best guys were on lock was a key part of it. And then, Bully ended up going back to defense, right? I think it was end of the first game, all of the second game, he went from forward to D. I came from D to forward. So we did end up changing some things, which I think did work in our favor because Bully was on lockdown. If he had to run up, he would do it, and someone would come back and cover for him. And I think we definitely did have the legs. Me and Altaf switching at a few points. It was really good. And then Yusuf stood on his head. There was a bunch of saves that he made that honestly they should have gone in, but he stood on his head, so good for him. And then even Omar Khan's goal was really, really good. There was a big scramble in front of the net. The goalie was trying to cover it, but then there were sticks everywhere. And then I guess Omar lost his balance and he was about to fall, and then he just put it in as he was falling. So
Yeah,
it was a really, really nice goal by him as well to kind of seal it. Alhamdulillah, it was a really hard battle.
for sure. And it actually came down to like a nail biter. We Asif scored with like a minute left, and then they had a minute of pressure in our zone. They hit the post, I think, and I think there was a lot thing. And you have your brother here just saying, telling the viewers to put some respect on your name. that you did shut him out. So at least you're getting some praise from your brother.
Yes, sir.
Bilal, did you kind of expect this outcome from Rida and Takwa, or did you have it the other way around?
You know what? At the beginning, like before the series started, I thought Duck was gonna take it. We played against them, and that was a really tough game. They have Muhib, who can obviously score from anywhere, and then Rayan's just like impossible to keep up with. But coming out of the quarters, after Yusuf's performance, I kind of had a feeling that Rida was gonna continue in their hot streak. If you have a hot goalie in the playoffs, it can go a long way, and that point carried through to this game. And shout out to Omar. I saw his goal; it was very nice. But yeah, it wasn't too surprising, but I definitely think a lot of people had Ducko coming out before the series started.
For sure. And so was kind of, I think it was mentioned before by another person from your team, Mobeen, where it's just like, did you guys ever think of choosing Rida to play in the semifinals, or was like Yusuf kind of Kapoor's recent gameplay just like a thing to avoid?
You know what? I think we didn't want to play you guys. Had Haya beat you guys in the quarterfinals, I think we might have chosen them. But yeah, we just never want to play against a good goalie in the playoffs. They can really steal the game. So yeah, that was our main reason.
Yeah, for sure. Saleh, I'll give you some mic time. Did you kind of going into this? I know you kind of told me that there's no way that we were gonna win, and we were actually trying to make plans for this Friday, and I said, what if I'm in the finals? And you said, there's no way you guys are gonna win. So what was kind of the surprise and shock aspect for you?
Yeah, honestly, I think I came out to watch one of your games a couple weeks ago, and you guys were playing Takwa, and it wasn't looking good. I know you guys were a short bench, but I think you guys lost. Was it 6-1?
Yeah, it was like 5-1, 6-1. I
Something
think.
along those lines. But I mean, obviously, I was just joking with you. This Rizzo team, I actually helped Zahir draft it. Zahir didn't know a lot of the guys that were in the lower half of the draft, and since I've been playing for a little while, and obviously I was out this season, I was actually on a call with him the whole time. I think we still got a little group chat with me, him, Altaf, and you got your way in there too. But I think you guys have a really good team. Um, Omar Khan, I see him as a first star. Me and you both played with him way back in the day in juniors. So I think this is the first ISLAM season, and I mean, I haven't again been paying attention to the whole season, but it looks like I do the graphics every week, and I've seen him as a star quite often. So it looks like he's been panning out to be a good pick. And obviously, you've got Yusuf Kapoor, who's probably the best goalie in Iceland this season and for the past season. So it's hard to beat a good goalie in the playoffs, especially. I mean, I think when we were making the playoff graphics, so there was talks about Tuckwa being a one-team line, and a lot of people in the comments didn't really like that. But I mean, again, I'm the one that makes the graphics. I don't come up with the captions, but I look at the stats and I'm seeing, oh yeah, Muhib's got 10 goals, Asif's got 10 goals, Rayan's got something up there too, and then the rest of the team is just not quite a big disparity. So I think Rida is a lot deeper, and Zahir and Altaf did a good job drafting, and that's what it came out to be.
For sure.
I want to say one quick thing, just quickly. I think one thing that Rida we have to focus on before we go into the finals is our composure and our discipline. There were a few times where we got tripping penalties, a hooking penalty that should have been a slash, right? So we really have to keep our cool. We can't be complacent when we're facing Yakeen. So that's just one thing. If we want to, keep going with the momentum that we have from the quarters and the semis, that's one thing that we have to really keep in mind.
Yeah, for sure. And keep me out of the box. I went the whole season without a penalty, and then I got 2 in 10 seconds.
Same, man. Because scored from the point on my penalty.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So
that can't happen. That can't happen.
For sure. And then we'll move into the last semifinal game of the evening. It was 6-5 Yakeen versus Ihsan, like absolute thriller. Naeem Shah, 2 goals, 2 assists. I think Naeem Shah actually led Yakeen in points in the regular season, and he almost leads Yakeen in points in the playoffs too. A huge underrated pick from Yusuf and RC this season. Yeah, Bilal, kind of talk us through this game, because I remember coming out of the change room and it was 3-1 Ihsan. And then I left thinking that, okay, it's going to go to overtime. And I'm getting notifications, okay, now Yakeen is winning 4-3. And then Ihsan took the lead back again to make it 5-4. Like, what was going on in this game?
Yeah, after you win the first game, you always know the second team or the team that lost is going to come out really hard for the next one. So we kind of got hit by that by Hassan. They came out strong. I think they scored, and then my dad had a goal, and then they scored two more. So it was 3-1 at that point, and then that's when Naeem really took off. Him and Mani, AR Batar, they had an amazing back-to-back plays where we got two goals and we tied the game back up. We ended up getting one more goal. I don't know from who, but we scored another one to take it 4-3. So it was a great comeback from us on that part. So a big part of that was, our vets on the team, my dad, Delaware, Itisham, Misbah, they great vets. They helped keep us composed. We're up 4-3. Then we had two bad defensive lapses where Ihsan scored two more goals. So it was 5-4 at that point. And then Usman took a penalty, and we had a power play. So coming into this power play is about a bit more than a minute left. So we're really hoping for a goal. We didn't want to push it to overtime because we know how dangerous Ihsan can be, especially if they're getting their shots off. So we pulled Arsenal. We went out there, six guys, and Naeem made an absolutely amazing pass to Yusuf Siddiqui, who buried the winner. Pretty sure it was Yusuf. Might have been Ibrahim. But they buried the winner, and or the game tire. Sorry, it was 5-5, and then Ibrahim ended up scoring an empty net goal. But yeah, it was a super entertaining game, super fun to play. These guys, Usman, Ali, Dawood, Rizzi, like they play like on the same team as me and RC and a bunch of the guys on our team. So it's kind of familiar faces going at it, and it was a nice back and forth game. It got a bit chippy in there, and that's what playoff hockey is about. So it was amazing to see this like that.
Yeah, so I have a question. You're a defenseman, so were you playing at all today, or this is like 11 goals in the game? Like, did all the defensemen just say, like, you know what, let's just all just forget to do our jobs, or kind of what was really happening? Were the goalies just not playing well, or what's your?
No. You can't blame Arsenal for that. We kind of left them out to dry. Throughout the whole season, we've been a very strong defensive team. I think we have one of the best, if not the best, defensive cores in the league, and we kind of had just made a lot of mental mistakes. I think it might have been us winning the first game by 3 goals. We thought that we could take it a bit easier, but yeah, just a bunch of mental lapses. We left Ihsan with a bunch of wide open shots, and with these guys at the level that they play, if they have a wide open shot, they're going to score. So that was pretty much it.
For sure. So Safe, did you stay back to watch this game, and what did you really kind of see? I know you kind of talked a little bit about this game.
We stayed for a little bit while we were waiting for Aaron to stop sulking in the change room and come out. But we watched a little bit of it, and then we left. I think by the time it was like 4-3, or it was tied at one point or something. But we ended up leaving. I think we definitely missed the second half. So I can't talk much about what happened in the second half, but it seemed like it was a really back-to-back game. So a lot different from the first one.
For sure. And Solly, I'll kind of end it off with you. Did you kind of expect Yakeen to take the series in 2 games, or did you think that Ihsan was going to pull off the upset and kind of make Yakeen regret choosing them?
Honestly, I didn't really think it was that much of a disparity between the two teams. I mean, you look at Osman, Ali, Riz, they've all played with each other for however many years. And I mean, I've been hearing about these 3 brothers who've just been absolutely tearing up the league. I think that you were telling me that they had combined for like 30 points in the first like 3 weeks or something like that, which was like absolutely insane. But I think like going into it, we kind of just expected it to be a close series, which I mean, I guess it was with both games. Both sets of Greenbridge guys who all play together, kind of knowing each other's games, not really any guys who are like, not playing with them chemistry wise. So I think both teams had a lot of great chemistry, and it kind of just came down, as you guys can see, to like a very close game. And
Yeah, for sure. And that kind of sets up a really entertaining final between Yakeen and Rida, which we'll kind of get in. But this next portion of the podcast, we kind of just want to, give, recognition to the guys during the regular season. And so, our first award that, the OC would like to announce is that Muhib Shah is the regular season MVP, most valuable player. He came in during, after week 3. So he did miss 3 games, but he absolutely teared up the league, scoring 10 goals, getting 11 assists, and then also winning the most goals, as well as a top scorer. So 3 big accolades from Muhib Shah this season for Taqwa. He does end up going home empty handed with kind of silverware, but for individual silver, he really kind of teared up the league. And so yeah, he's the MVP for the league, and inshallah, we hope to continue to see him kind of come out. And Yeah, we'll move in kind of a little bit quicker, as we want to kind of get into the finals preview, as well as the new jerseys coming out. And so the second award that we would like to announce is the Naseem Butter GM Award. And this was given to Team Yakeen. GMs are, as well as, the GM award and the President Award to Team Yakeen. So this one was honestly unanimous. Like it was a clear winner. Team Yakeen had, Bilal, you guys had an amazing season, finishing first place, nearly going undefeated, um, only losing 2 games, and yeah, it was a really really good season and a very very well put together team. And RC and Yusuf, should be proud of the team and are kind of going for that chip, which RC has, I don't believe, has ever won. So yeah, this is the second award that the OC has announced. The third award that we would like to announce is the Best Defenseman Award, and this is given to Ali Wadi with 3 goals and 17 assists. He finished second in scoring. He had the most assists, so he also won the Top Playmaker Award, and a great season for him. Unfortunately, not playing in the finals, but it's from the winter season till now, it's his second straight best defenseman award
I was
for
about to
him.
say it feels like he wins this award every single season.
Yeah, I think he's won top playmaker and best defenseman award probably, I think, 3 or 4 times in the last like 2-3 years. So yeah, another good season for him. And yeah, with that, we'd like to announce the OC has selected Safe Khwaja's brother, Rian Khwaja, as the top defensive forward this season with 8 goals and 5 assists. Um, every Taqwa game that Rian played in, you see him in the offensive zone, and you also see him in the defensive zone. He runs back like crazy. Safe, and you probably know your brother's game better than anybody. But his legs, just for the full 60 minutes, his legs just don't stop moving. And great teammate to have. And yeah, a great season. Came up short. Safe did more of the defensive work against him this last week. And yeah, Rian Khwaja wins the top defensive forward award. So yeah, we'll take a break from announcing the next couple of awards, and kind of just get your guys' thoughts on kind of the 3 that have been announced so far. So Safe, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on your brother's award?
I mean, I'll say it straight up. I think he deserves it. He's a very two-way player. He's always been like that. So having him on your team is going to be a good asset. I mean, he obviously gets his defensive skills from me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but it is good. The only times his legs ever stopped moving, I remember once where it was like he was on the floor because he literally couldn't move his legs. He was cramping. So he's always had that defensive mindset. So it's always good to have. He blocks a lot of shots. So I think he also elbowed me a few times the past game. So he really has that defensive grit. So it's good. So congrats to him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and Bilal, kind of, I wanted to ask you about kind of your team and heading into the season. You've obviously played with Yusuf and RC in the past, but kind of what was some of the things that they kind of instilled within your team to really guys, make you guys, believe, you guys can do it this season.
Yeah, I've been with RC as a GM. Like RC's been my GM for a few seasons now, and just him as a GM, I believe he's one of the most selfless players I've ever been a part of. Been to be on. Sorry, he's one of the most selfless players I've ever been on a team with. There's been times where he'll sit himself down, even though he's fresh, to let other guys get minutes. He always rolls all three lines, so I think that's a big part about why we instill confidence, how we have the confidence to win these games. If all three lines are rolling, which they allow us to do, it really helps us out as a team. And then Yusuf, first time GM, he's a young guy, but GMs are supposed to be some of the top players in the league, and he took that by storm this year. First few games, him and his brothers are going crazy, getting an insane amount of points, and throughout the season, playing on an injury that hasn't stopped. So yeah, they drafted a really great team. They got a lot of great steals in the draft. You got Naeem pretty in the middle of the draft. Got my dad at like pick 60, which is I think a steal. So we had a lot of good picks, and yeah, alhamdulillah, it's been a great season being on their team.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I think Muhib also had a really really good season. So you probably kind of saw him on When Making Graphics as like the first star, and I think he had 6 goals in a game against Iman. So he had a hat trick against a regular goalie, and then a hat trick against the empty net. So yeah, I think Solly, what are your thoughts on Muhib's season?
I mean, he's always just been known for scoring, and I mean, empty net or not, he's gonna find the back of the net. And like you said, he came halfway into the season and was able to win this award. I mean, people might say, "Oh yeah, I mean, most goals with an empty net," but at the end of the day, I mean, that's 21 points. He also won top scorer, so I think that says what it says. Can you go back to the Rayan slide for a second?
For sure.
Bilal and Saif, you guys are both defensemen too, right?
Yep.
I always wondered why like there's never a top offensive defenseman award.
Yeah, there should be one, man.
There
I
should.
never understood. Like, I think we need to submit something to the OC and get a new award added in there.
For sure, I'll bring it up at our next discussion. But yeah, I think if that I think Ali Wadi would have been a good candidate for that one as well. He had 17 or 20 points, pretty offensive D-man. I think yeah, he probably would have gotten that if there was that award as well.
No, for sure.
For sure. So we'll move into the next couple of awards. So the next one is the best goalie this season. And this was voted by the OC to be Khalid Mufti, who also had the lowest goals against average. And yeah, I think, it possibly could have been Zaid Maju if he stayed healthy throughout the whole season. He had a really, really solid season before he had to drop out. And I'm sure Yakeen kind of can attest to that as well. But Mufti really stayed solid the whole season. Takwa had a rocky start, but without Mufti in a couple of those games, he really saved them with points at the beginning of the season. Really standing on his head, and that kind of is what led to him winning the best goaltender. So yeah, say if you versed him, we versed him on Friday. What are your kind of thoughts on Mufti?
You know what? He really likes, from what I saw that game, he likes playing the ball. He'll either try and come out of his crease a little bit, or he'll move side to side. So he has that confidence, which is good. Not a lot of goalies have that. So they'll either be too shy and they won't come out. They won't challenge something, or they'll try challenging it and it doesn't work in their favor, and then goals happen. But he did a really good job, alhamdulillah. He really put up a fight. I think he does deserve this a lot, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned him coming out of the net. I came out of the penalty box. I ran. He shot the ball into me. I had an empty net, and then I shot it back into his pads and ended up missing. That could have been like the 4-1 goal to put them away, but he ran back in the net and stopped me. So yeah, I think great goalie this year, and I think it's probably from active goalies between him and Kapoor. And on any given day, any one of them. He also won the recent ISNA tournament. So yeah, great season from Khalid Mufti. And the last award that was given from the OC is the Brotherhood Award, and this was given to Hamza Abdullahi, who with 3 goals and 8 assists for Team Sabr, didn't have the best of seasons for their team, but he's one of the guys that every single week, they'd be losing 6-0, 6-1, and he'll still have a smile on the face, still come say salam to everyone. And you couldn't really tell after the game if they'd won or lost because of how happy. And yeah, he had a great season, so he wins the Brotherhood Award. And yeah, honestly, the Brotherhood Award it's a nice award to win. I won it a couple of seasons ago. And yeah, I think it really just one thing that we really want to push for Islam is it being a brotherhood league, and it's really what the league is all about. Every season you're on a team with new players, so someone that you're versing one week can be your teammate in the next season. So yeah, Hamza Abdullahi wins the Brotherhood Award, and yeah, that kind of concludes all of the awards. So yeah, congratulations to all of the award winners, and yeah, there's gonna be still 2 final awards to be awarded, which is Islam Champion on Friday, as well as the playoff MVP. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who gets that. So yeah, moving into the finals preview. This Friday, Yakeen versus Rida. It's going to be probably a pretty entertaining finals compared to the past. A couple of them have been kind of one-sided, but I really think this one could potentially go to overtime in the shootout. But yeah, I'll like to hear your guys' thoughts. So Bilal, what will be key for Yakeen heading into this finals, and what do they need to do to beat Rida and beat be on top?
Yeah, I think it continues on with our theme for the year. Just keep sustained pressure. We're a young, fast team, so we just need to keep, dumping and chasing, running after the ball hard. Keep putting the pressure and shots on Yusuf. I think the first time we played you guys, he had like 51 saves or something like that. But yeah, he's a great goalie, so you just got to keep getting shots off, and we got to keep our defensive game strong. We know guys like Altaf, Bully, Zahir, they can score, they can shoot, and like most of the times when they shoot, they will score. So we just got to keep them off the scoreboard and play some tough defense to get them off their game.
For sure. Safe, I know, we kind of have some chatter on how to kind of control Yakeen in the Rida group chat, but what do you think, in the eyes of a D-man that's now moved to center, in the last series, what will be key for Rida to controlling, the explosive, offense of Yakeen?
Yakeen's a very deep team, right? So, they were saying we're deep, but they're also very deep. So it's, they also do have the legs. I think that, like I mentioned, in terms of, discipline and no room for complacency, but the short shifts as well have to be there for us. If we get tired, we're definitely going to get burnt by this team. So we definitely have to make sure that we're not taking long shifts. Get off before you get tired, because then if you're on and then one thing's going to lead to another. So that's number one. Number two is, see, or like, we have to know which of their guys. We already have their guys. We know who they are, who are, their top scorers and everything like that. But I think we definitely need to make sure that those guys are accounted for. No one is not on them at all times, right? They always have to be covered. So those two things, similar to what we did for Taqwa. I think if we run the same kind of play, I think we'll have them easily.
For sure. Yeah, I think for this game, it's going to be us needing to take a lot of shots. I think Arsenal in his last couple of games has let in quite a few goals, and I think we can really take advantage of the rebounds. And myself in particular, he's the only goalie besides Mufti last week that I've ever scored on the season. So I have 4 goals against Arsenal this season. So I'm hoping I can, get a couple more on Friday.
I also got my dad came for the semis when me and my brother played each other. So, it was nice to have him watch us play. But he did also let me know my dad's a goalie as well. He's been playing in Iceland for a while. So he did his own analysis of how he played, and he let me know where we should take advantage of, where what his strengths are. So we have that in our back pocket, and we know how to we know how to get past him. So it shouldn't be an issue.
For sure. So Saleh, you're kind of neutral in all of this. You're not playing on any team this season. What do you think will be the key, and who do you think will come out on top this Friday?
I wouldn't call myself neutral. I've got some family ties to Rida for sure, but I think it's gonna be a close game. Hoping Rida comes out with it, but I haven't seen these Siddiqui guys play, these Siddiqui bros, but I've heard that they're probably some of the top guys in the league. See that even last season, I remember playing with Yusuf Siddiqui, playing against him, and how good he is. So if he's got two older brothers, I'm not sure if they're better than him or what the case is, but I heard they're fast and quick. And I mean, looking at Rida, I mean, Abdullah, you're not the quickest or fastest guy. So, and I don't know if you guys have the quickness to keep up with them, but I think it'll be a good close game.
For sure. And I think, one thing that really we know from the last time we played Yakeen, Yusuf put 4 goals up against us. So I think he's gonna definitely be that, their main guy that we're gonna have to contain.
I think the other Yusuf on your team also, I think the goalie battle is also super important, especially in playoffs. And Yusuf Kapoor is my guy, and I think that he is the better goaltender in this series. So I think that's also another advantage that Rida has. But yeah,
for sure. And yeah, with that, we look forward to the finals. But one thing that we really kind of want to do is give a preview and a sneak peek for next season. And so yeah, one thing that we really did look for next season is to change up the jerseys. A lot of guys have been complaining we're having the same jerseys for the last like 6 seasons. So Mr. Solly here really kind of took it upon himself to help design the new jerseys. And so without further ado, I'll introduce the GM pairings. It's duos again, as well as the jerseys and logos for teams for next season. So we have a question actually here before that. Are winter spots full? No, there's still a few spots left for winter 2025. So please sign up and send your payment in before it all fills up because, there's only a few spots left. So the very first team that we'd like to reveal and the first GM pair is Team Yakeen, which is going to be led by Maz Huck as well as Wakar Khan. And yeah, we have a new Yakeen logo. It's similar to the kind of Colorado Avalanche colors as well as the Winnipeg Jets kind of logo. So Saleh, kind of walk us through the inspiration behind this jersey.
So actually, for the past few weeks, me, Abdullah, and Isa, we have had our own group chat talking about how we want to change up the jerseys, and not only changing the jerseys, but kind of just bringing it back to like Abdullah was talking about how this is a brotherhood league, and before we're all hockey players, we're all Muslims at the end of the day, and we kind of wanted to incorporate that into the jerseys and into the logos themselves, with each jersey, each logo kind of representing something or what the meaning of that Arabic word is. As you guys know, all of the names of Islam teams are after different aspects of our religion. And we try to, again, we've been talking about these for like maybe a month or so, kind of going back and forth with ideas. This Yakeen jersey, I'm super upset that this is the first one that we started with because this is the only one that we didn't use one of the logos that we came up with. This was the logo that one of the jersey designers ended up using because ours was a little, the quality wasn't the best.
My bad.
No, it's okay. Not as cool. But yeah, maybe we can just talk about the GMs, and then for the rest of the jerseys, I can talk about those.
Yeah, for sure. So Maz Haq and Waqar Khan, these guys come back together. The last time they've played together was fall 2023, which they ended up winning with Yateem Yakeen. I was on that team, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of go about this this next season. So the next jersey and team that we'll preview is Team Rida. So we're starting with the two teams that are in this year's finals for next season. So Mohamed Bulbulia Bully is staying on Rida, and his partner is Yahya Kotiwala, who, if you're unaware, is a player out of the East End, and really good player. Won the Salam Cup with ML this year, and has come out to our games a couple of times. And yeah, they'll be leading Team Rida with a new jersey, a lighter bluish, kind of not dark blue or Edmonton Oilers color kind of this year. So Solly kind of take us through this one.
Yeah. So just going back to the definition of Rida, Rida is deeply rooted in the idea that of peaceful submission to Allah's will and virtue that fosters inner calm and trust. So we kind of took this with the crescent moon, which symbolizes peace and the cyclical nature of life, reminding believers to remain content through both prosperity and hardship. So that's kind of what we try to center the logo around. And then with that, we were looking at different jerseys, and I think this is a really nice color and one of my favorite ones that we've done. And yeah,
For sure. Yeah, we'll move into the next one. The next team is Team Taqwa, who will be led by Yusuf Siddiqui and his brother Ibrahim Siddiqui. So they leave Yakeen. They were actually the very first GM pair that was confirmed, and they chose Team Taqwa. So I think they're fans of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and so we kind of made it very similar to the Pittsburgh kind of colors. But yeah, Solly, you can kind of explain.
Yeah. So taqwa involves constant awareness of Allah's presence and living in reverence of Him, and the mountain symbolizes strength and steadfastness, as taqwa requires staying firm against sin and striving for righteousness.
For
So
sure. Yeah.
that was the idea of these ones.
Mm-hmm. The next team that we'll highlight is Team Sabr, and this is going to be led by Riaz Hussein and Zaid Khaler. So very very similar to the Vegas jersey. This is honestly probably one of my favorite ones that we kind of knew. The new ones that we kind of have. The logo, the S for Sabr. And yeah, Solly, you can kind of give the
Yeah. No,
context.
first I'm just super happy we got rid of any yellow jerseys. I think that was the reason that I wanted to make these gold, because I just absolutely hated seeing that bright yellow Sabres jersey. I think it was the second worst jersey of last season. But yeah, so we kind of have the S for Sabr, but the S also kind of forms an hourglass. And Sabr is the quality of patience and perseverance, especially in times of hardships. And the hourglass symbolizes the passage of time and need for patience. So we kind of played around with the S, tried to make it an hourglass shape, and I think we kind of killed it with this one.
For sure. So we're halfway through Bilal and Saif. Which one is kind of your favorite, or what are your thoughts on the first four jerseys?
Yeah, I'll give mine. I like the Taqwa jersey. It kind of aside from Pittsburgh, it kind of reminds me of the Denver Nuggets a bit with the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sharp color. I like the black and yellow contrast, and then also the Vegas jersey. I agree with Sally. I don't like looking at yellow, to be honest. So the gold's a nice touch.
For sure.
I was gonna say I like the color of the Rilla jerseys. It's a nice color. But I think in terms of the actual logo, I think the next one I forgot Sabr I think takes it. Right away I kind of noticed the hourglass. I'm like, okay, that makes sense because it's Sabr, right? So I think in terms of logos, I think this is probably my favorite so far.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, a great logo. So good job, Solly. And we don't have any comments right now in the chat, but I'm sure the people that are gonna watch later will be impressed as well. So yeah, the next team that we'll reveal is Team Ihsan. And this is gonna be led by Dawood and Hamza Ali. So Dawood, sticking with Ihsan, it's gonna be like his 100th season straight with Team Ihsan. And with a new partner this year, Mr. Hamza Ali, who moves into a GM role. And one thing that you are is very visible is the Detroit Red Wings, logo. So Saleh, you could kind of explain this one.
This is my least favorite one. I think we cooked something else up, and then Isawi was like, "Oh, Dawood just wants red. He's just obsessed with the Red Wings." And I remember before the summer season, Dawood telling me like, "Oh, he wanted like the retro Ihsan or the retro Wings jersey." And I guess that's why you guys change it up. If I'm just assuming, but honestly, I get that they're like nice and simple, but I mean, again, we really didn't do much with this one. Kind of, but it is much better than last. I mean, the current Ihsan, not the current ones, the Oilers Ihsan ones. I think I hated those ones more than the Subber jerseys. I think that was like the ugliest colorway of all Islam jerseys I've ever seen. So this does beat that one, but I think in terms of this season, this is my least favorite one.
Good to know. And yeah, this jersey, I think this one, it was just to kind of honor Dawood, for his commitment to being in the league for as long as he has. For at least this season, Dawood will be happy to have his Red Wings logo back. I was trying to find what the he actually sent his own jersey design because um he wanted it to be a Red Wings one, and it was absolutely despicable design. I can't find the picture now, but if I find it soon, I'll put it up. So the next team that we are gonna reveal is Team Ikhlas, and this is gonna be with Huzaifa Mandra and Rayan Khawaja. So Ikhlas stays green, but this time gets a yellow stripe in between, kind of similar to the Minnesota Wild logo. Kind of walk us through this one, Solid.
Yeah, so ikhlas refers to the purity of everyone's intention, so each intention that you have, and doing your deeds solely for Allah's sake without seeking any other pleasure or acknowledgement from anyone else. And the star kind of represents the sincerity of intentions, and the purity that's required of them. And that's kind of what we went with. We had the star. This one we were kind of stuck on a little bit, but we kind of were like, okay, let's see which logos have stars in them and which ones we can change up, and we kind of confirmed this one.
For sure. Safe. What are your thoughts on Rayon? And his new role as GM.
Uh, you know what? I think he'll be a good fit. Even when he's not a GM, he's always one of the louder ones on the bench, on the floor, in the change room. Usually he's one of the first to usually take or self-criticize before giving tips and to everyone else. So in terms of from a leader aspect, I think he's going to do very well. You know, it's going to be a good. I think it's going to be a good fit for him. Him and Josefa, I think they'll do well together. But I can't picture myself in a green jersey. I mean, hopefully Ryan and them pick me. I don't know, but I don't know. I can't picture myself in a green one.
For sure, and your dad's playing again
And my
this
dad.
season.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. But your first ever season in Islam, you wore green when you were on my team. So maybe
That is true. Yes, the dark green. Yeah.
yeah.
You're
So
right.
maybe you can bring green again. But yeah, the next team that will reveal is Team Iman. So this really really nice purple jersey led by Muhammad Kalir and Bilal Mohideen. So Zaid Kalir is leading Sabr, Muhammad Kalir is leading Iman. Both brothers are probably gonna just not make the playoffs, but yeah, Saleh, kind of take us back through this one.
No, this is definitely one of my favorites. I love that Anaheim Ducks retro look. But faith, iman is faith and belief that Muslims kind of must be firmly anchored in their hearts and having conviction in our religion with assuredness. So this anchor logo kind of just represents that firmness that everyone has to have in their belief and faith. So that's kind of what we went with, and then the colors kind of also matched up really well with what we were cooking up.
For sure. Bilal, what are your thoughts on what are your thoughts on this team and this jersey?
Well, first, I love the jersey. It's a nice new look. With Adam Ahmed being my cousin, I've been drafted to Iman quite a bit. He loves the purple and gold that you used to have. But yeah, I think the jersey's amazing. Mohammed Khaler and Bilal Mohideen. I've been playing hockey with Mohammed for probably over 10 years now on the same team, and then Bilal, that's my my little twin. That's little Bilal right there. So I love these guys. Hopefully they draft me. We'll see what happens, but yeah, it's a very nice jersey.
For sure. And yeah, with that, there's one team left, and that is Team Haya. So a similar gray look, but this time a different Kings logo, and we have some Arabic on it. And it's gonna be led by Luke, like always. And his partner is still to be confirmed. It could be Akim Malik, it could be a different partner. But yeah, we're kind of still waiting on that. But Salih, can take us through this last jersey.
Yeah, so Haya, it kind of represents dignity, respect, and protection. Reminding believers to maintain all of those. So that's kind of what the shield represents, the shield logo. I think that we also had this last season, which was kind of like a nice segue. We just made some minor tweaks to make it a little bit nicer, a little bit better, and then add some blocking on the jersey. So these ones are all right too.
For sure. And yeah, that kind of leads us to the end of our jersey. So safe and Bilal, from these four, which is your favorite jersey?
I'm gonna have to go with Iman once again. I really like the anchor. Kind of reminds me of Seattle's team a bit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go with the same. I really like the color scheme. I like the fact it's like Iman and like it's an anchor, right? So it's like an anchor in our lives. So I really like that kind of symbolism with it. I think for me it has to be Iman. It's a battle between Iman and Sabr for the best jerseys.
yeah, for sure. So let's see if Iman takes you as well and keeps you hostage away from your brother as well. So we actually have a comment here. So it's reportedly Ryan called Hamza Gaya in tears after the elimination at the hands of Safe. So what are your thoughts on that, Safe?
I don't know, man. I think this is just classic Solomon, just yapping.
Solomon, man, this guy's on every podcast. He comes to every game,
and
but
he's never played. He's never played once.
Solomon, there's there's 5 spots left for next season. Just send your fees in and do the form, and you can play in and actually comment. But yeah, we'll just move into the final part of the show. Now that we're confirmed the GMs for next year, we do have a few spots left. So if you haven't already done so, please sign up. And with that, we'll just conclude the show. Jazakallah, Saif, and Bilal, and Solly for kind of coming out and taking the time to really preview the semifinals, the finals, the jerseys, and the new GMs, as well as the awards. So yeah, a very very jam packed episode. And yeah, any closing thoughts, Bilal, Saif, Solly, before the final game of the fall season?
Just good luck, guys, next week. Hopefully it's a good battle, and may the best team win.
Inshallah. Good luck, guys.
For sure. And yeah, we actually have a reminder. Sorry about that. There is a pickup between games 1 and 2 on Friday. It's free this time. You don't have to pay. Just sign up using the registration form. And yeah, you guys can come out, watch the finals, play in between. It should be a very kind of entertaining and fun finals. I'm not saying that because I'm playing, but I think it's actually going to be a very, very fun season ending. So yeah, inshallah, we'll see you guys. And yeah, at the pickup, bring a black and a white jersey as well. That's another reminder. But yeah, with that, I'd like to just say Assalamualaikum, guys, and yeah, we'll end the show here.